You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, really excited about getting a guest on for you guys today. That is a familiar face, a familiar voice in the industry, and for good reason. These guys have a great product out there that so many of you guys know, like, and trust. You've been using them for years. Without further ado, we've got Shawn Langton, one of the co-founders of Kujo Yardwear. So, Shawn, welcome to the show, brother. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. How you doing, Brian?
Living the dream, man. Life is good. No complaints. Other than, maybe if it could rain just a little bit less, we would appreciate that here in Michigan. But how's you're a Michigan native, so you know how the spring rush goes. It could be 70 in March, or it could be snow in March, man. So it's you never know. But you're down in North Carolina now, or what?
Yeah, I'm in the Raleigh area, North Carolina. Love it. You obviously miss the friends and family up in Michigan, but the weather down here, you can't beat it. Yeah, I remember those times in Michigan, April, you never know. But you rejoice at those 70 and sunny days, but they were hit or miss. That's true.
Like we people are like, oh, so you had like an early spring rush because it didn't snow. I said, no, it was 34 degrees, wet slush. You couldn't really get too much done. Thankfully, a lot of the products you guys have, we were able to rock and roll and wear because, damn, it was so muddy and wet and rainy for, 4 or 5 weeks. And frankly, still is. We're still trying to dry the place out. But, beggars can't be choosers in this situation. You roll with the punches with the weather. So I had a conversation with my electrician and my carpenter about 2 months ago. And the electrician had to go outside and do something. And these two guys knew each other for like 30 years, and they were bickering and having fun. And the carpenter works indoors in the elements, and the electrician, was working outdoors in the elements a lot of the times. And my carpenter, Chris, goes, "Hey, man, 30 years ago, we all decided our career, man. We all decided our choice, so don't complain when you got to work outdoors, bro. You could have been a carpenter." So
right.
I was like,
hey, it's a great point. You picked it.
Yeah. So like everybody that complains in lawn care landscaping or snow about the weather, I'm like, hey, bro, you picked your career. Let's go. Nobody's forcing you to do this stuff. So rain comes with the territory, guys. I hate to say it, but any which way. So, so if you guys don't know Shawn, a lot of new listeners to the show all the time, and there really are. I mean, the podcast trending again back in the top 100, 150. Crazy amount of downloads. I don't take any of it for granted. I'm pretty low key with the numbers. I'm not one to brag or boast by any means. I really am just thankful and grateful that we have the platform to share with you guys, maybe pour into you 20, 30 minutes, a couple times a week. But if you guys don't know Shawn and you guys don't know the whole Kujo Yardwear story, we'll get into it a little bit today, and love to introduce you to one of my friends. And I think something that they're making is not only a great product, but a necessity that's been out there in the marketplace for the last 5, 6, 7 years. But of course, they got some latest and greatest. They got some new stuff as well. So if you guys are a regular listener to the show and you do know the Kujo brand, and you're probably wearing some right now as you go mow some grass or trim some lawns, listen maybe towards the tail end of this show, because they got some new releases that are really, really cool. And a lot of you guys have actually weighed in on the product development side of things. So that's why it's a really cool conversation from what these guys are putting together, or basically what you guys are requesting out there. So how cool is that? So Shawn, without further ado, what's your background? How did you get started doing this? For anybody who doesn't know the Kujo Yardwear story and brand, I know you've told the story probably 100 times, maybe 1,000 times by now, given the elevator pitch. But for anybody who doesn't know, the Kujo and your guys and your sister and Craig, what's the Kujo brand, man? And where are you guys coming from, and what do you guys got going on?
Yeah, appreciate it, Brian. And yeah, you're right. Yeah, we've talked about it a few times, but I'm happy to kind of hash out how it all started, because it's been a fun ride, like you said. 5, 6, 7 years ago is when we really got to start. But yeah, I mean, I was real quick. I worked construction for my dad growing up, and I always, we just built houses and did remodels and odd jobs. And I hated heavy work boots. So that's kind of my background. I always would wear my Nikes to work, and my dad would be like, "Put on your boots." And I was that kid that just would not want to wear boots. Fast forward when I get a little older, I've worked for some different lawn and garden companies and some different things. And I just did not find a good shoe that worked well for mowing, trimming, working outside, landscaping. that wasn't a boot. And after searching, I eventually just said, you know what? I'm just going to create this thing. I'm going to create the ultimate shoe for like lawn care. And that was kind of an exciting, journey at that point, just to do a couple of years of, I talked to landscapers, I talked to lawn care guys, I talked to like shoe store owners. What's comfortable? What do people look for? And, just really figured out what people wanted. And then I was like, okay, now I need to, figure out how to design this thing. So I like literally Googled freelance footwear designers and, interviewed a bunch of these people and met this really great designer that had worked for Nike and New Balance. And he got the concept right away. And him and I just kind of worked on it together. Wow. And this was, 2017, 18. And that's kind of how it started. So it really was just kind of like, we saw a need and we decided just to go for it and put ourselves around some really smart people that have been in the industry and then create something new that hasn't really been out there. Wow. And that's how it started.
I love that. And it's so funny because when you guys, you guys have, forgive me if you've heard this story before, some of you guys have, Shawn's been a familiar face on our podcast, a couple other great shows. You guys gotta understand though, for me personally, talk about like the planets aligning. I swear on my soul, I can't make this up. I will take a polygraph test. There was one time I was in the car with one of my workers, younger kid, a baseball kid, and he was working part-time. And I was, my regular habit was to wear my Red Wings boots, my 435 boots. I'd wear them, Shawn, until about 11 o'clock in the morning in the Midwest, Kentucky bluegrass. Yep. You got the wet morning dew. But they're moon boots, bro. Like they're clunky. Don't get me wrong. I liked them. They were good, but they're heavy. And so I was like, there's gotta be a shoe. I swear on my soul, I literally was saying this in the truck. I was like, there's gotta be a shoe out there that can take the morning dew, that can get wet. Cause at about 11 o'clock, I take my boots off, throw on my old Asics, my old Brooks, a good running shoe. And I'd mow grass with them for the rest of the day. Well, your socks would get covered in grass and you get the grass. And then I was smart, Shawn. So I got like the calf high, hiking socks, from whatever, pick your brand,
Right.
And then, so now I got, not only then I'm wearing pants during the day and I sometimes switch out the shorts in like the dead of August or something. So I've got like 7 gnarly, funky tan lines. I've got grass in my shoe. I'm emptying out my shoe every 5 minutes. And I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous. Like there's gotta be a shoe for lawn care. I swear on my soul, folks, it wasn't but a day or two later, maybe a week later, I get an email. And we were just starting YouTube. I might have had, 5,000, 10,000 subscribers. It was nothing like we have today. And what we have today is still not much. But anyway, back then, we were just making stuff up and learning. And I get an email. It says, lawn care shoe product test, something like that. I don't even remember. And basically it was, if I'm not mistaken, Shawn, I think you penned that email. And
it was my sister Kelsey who joined me when we were starting this.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it literally, it's so funny to me, folks, but it's a reminiscing story for me. It was like, hey, we've developed a lawn care shoe that can, handle the water and the wet dew of the morning. We're a startup. We're just getting out there. We'd love to get your feedback. Would you be open to trying this lawn care shoe? And now, listen, folks, this is like 7-8 years ago. Today, we all know that everybody's listening to your phone calls and your camera's always on, and Big Brother's always out there, and all the ad agencies and all these guys that you sell your info for ads to Nike. But like, I didn't know that 7-8 years ago, so I literally thought I was getting punked. I was like, is somebody listening to my actual phone call? Because I literally was just complaining about this 2-3 days ago. And so I emailed Shawn, or Kelsey, I said, yeah, sure, love to learn more. They sent out a couple pairs of shoes. They held up. And I was like, dude, this is freaking awesome. And it's crazy to think that the industry has been working with big clunky boots for 20, 30, 40 years. And there's just like, there's not like a lightweight option to just go cut the grass. Like it doesn't need to be, a $300, $250, construction boot that's weighing you down all freaking day. So, right place, right time, Shawn. I don't know. What was your thoughts during that whole time period of your guys' life and the startup? How did that go for you guys?
Yeah, that was like perfect timing because I remember you were freaking out when you were like, He's like,
I swear.
You guys know we were just talking about.
I swear.
I remember that conversation with you that week.
That's so crazy. I was like, I swear on my soul, I was just talking about this 2 days ago. I'm like, is somebody punking me right now? Because Ashton Kutcher had the Punked, TV show back in the day on MTV or whatever. So I was like, there's got to be cameras here somewhere. But anyway, so. But,
no, it was great. And, it was, it took a leap of faith. I mean, shoes are expensive to make. Like luckily my wife is amazing and she just trusts me and had faith in me to do this. And we sunk all of our life savings into this thing. So it had to work. We didn't really have a backup option here.
Right.
And luckily the shoes worked pretty well. I mean, they do what they're supposed to do and people loved them. And, like you said, they held up and they were functional. So, I mean, that first year was exciting and stressful and nerve wracking and, but it was great. And we learned a lot. Like I think you kind of mentioned earlier, like, we listen to people and we've created a lot of new products and we can talk about that later. But I read every review, every customer service email. That first year I was handling customer service.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I talked to everybody, so I learned what people liked about it. I learned what people didn't like. I mean, so we've literally made 5 improvements to that first shoe since launch. And it's all based just to talking to people who wear them in the field every single day for years. So
wow.
We've learned so much talking to people in the industry. It's been cool.
Did you ever imagine it, growing this size or getting this big? Because sales are going up year over year. We were catching up before. Mm-hmm. And I'm always rooting for my friends. I mean, from the Rick from Hurricanes that, build and sell, or Nick Carlson, is building a great juggernaut business over there in Maryland. Like there's a bunch of my friends, they have these companies, manufacturing companies, product businesses, Core Ballard products, like they're killing it. I love these stories. It's the American dream. And, I still believe in that. I still think it's cool to change your stars and have a, come from nothing and build something, kind of a story. How is the Kujo brand and the Kujo shoes, going at this point? I mean, you guys are what, 6 or 7 years into this now?
Yeah. I mean, it's going great. Like you said, we've shown growth every single year, which is amazing. I mean, we're obviously not the size of Nike or anything like that. We're still relatively a smaller brand when it comes to the footwear brand.
Okay.
It's been a great ride. We're growing every single year. It's been great. And like you had mentioned Nick Carlson at Mulch made everything. I remember that first year we did the Equip Expo. Some of you listen, I'm sure, have been to the Equip Expo in Louisville. And we were we're in the same row as Nick Carlson and Mulch made, way in the corner. Yeah. We're like in a really bad location. We both had these little small booths. But Nick and I were like talking. We're like all fired up. And then now to see us both, now we see each other at the Equip, and we're both in the main area with our big room. We're in the main room. It's just been kind of cool to, hey, we're with the big boys now. It's kind of fun. So
swimming with the sharks.
It's been a good ride, but we did it. You kind of asked, did I envision it? Well, yeah. I mean, that you gotta dream. You kind of gotta have goals. So I don't think you ever. I mean, things can happen accidentally, but I think most people who grow businesses into larger things had a clear vision of what they wanted to be, and then they went for that, and that's kind of what we're doing right now.
I love it. And you guys have executed, right? Like that's the biggest thing. You guys have put in the hours, you put in the work, you put in the customer service. I've seen the website, I've seen the reviews. I know. I mean, the first round of shoes, like for example, guys, like the little pull tab was like ripping off, and a lot of people were complaining, and I think mine ripped off too. And I'm not a complainer, so I was like, I don't even care. Life goes on. I'm like, I'm still in the bonus round. Like these things are better than boots. But you know what? You guys came back, whatever, double stitched them, made them thicker, made them bigger for our big chunky sausage fingers for a lot of you guys out there. That got the man hands, the callous fingers. So. But again, that's really cool. It just shows that how much you guys are out there listening to the customer, trying to get better. You guys are able to improve on a product, and not everybody's like that. There's mower brands and other product brands. I'm like, dude, you guys, you're dropping the ball here. If I can just be honest, you can make if I can make a suggestion, could you change this, and this, and 1 in 10 actually take that feedback to heart and make a move. And I feel like every time I talk to you, you're like, man, we just changed this, we modified that, we improved this, or we invested into that. And I'm like, that's a brand that gets it. And I think that's why it correlates to you guys being so loved in the industry, having the growth that you've had, having the reception. I mean, there's more people, just as many or more people at your booth than any of the other big mower brands, like you said, on the main part of the showroom floor. Like you guys are building a great brand, and I hate to be like cheesy, but it's kind of family. Like we've all grown up together,
Yeah, totally. And I appreciate you saying that. And it goes back to, you said we actually listen and we try to take care of our customers. Well, we really don't have a choice. Like, I think, money wise, for example, like we never took like an outside investment where we got $10 million all of a sudden. I think that I think that's tough for some companies because then you can just throw money behind problems. Oh, we'll just throw more marketing dollars behind this problem or whatever. We didn't have that choice. We couldn't just throw money behind a problem. We had to like talk to customers and work and fix the problems ourselves, So I think that helped us, especially early on, that we couldn't just do financial band-aids over issues. We had to like work at it and really improve from the ground up.
Right. No, and I love that. I get to help my brother Adam and his co-founder Lauren with Brandon Bolt. A lot of you guys have heard me talk about them, and I get on a 2-week call rotation with them just for a strategy call for an hour, just to help them out. It's my brother. I care about him. Not that I'm Donald Trump Jr. or anything, but hey, they're learning business. I'm learning business. But they have to lead with customer service. They have to lead with a great product. I mean, it's so relatable, with what you're preaching right now. And it's like, dude, you have to. If you don't have all the money in the world, and by the way, all these companies that do, they throw money at the problem for a while, Shawn, like you said, but doesn't mean it's going to solve the problem. I've seen that work the opposite too,
Experience success at the Equip Expo in Louisville, Kentucky, October 15th through the 18th. It's the green industry's premier event, covering landscaping, lawn care, and outdoor equipment. Whether you're a new or seasoned pro, there is something for you. Join us for a welcome reception on Tuesday at Churchill Downs. New this year, we have happy hour with the Crashers on Wednesday, a blend of networking and a concert experience. And don't miss Energize, hosted by Brian Fullerton, where you'll get help with marketing, hiring, sales, and purchasing. Thursday night, it's Trace Atkins in concert, and new for 2024, we are introducing our certification center in the West Wing, offering certified courses in pesticide continuing education, turfgrass pesticide application, chemical application, and tree care and shrub. Parking is free. Use code Brian for 50% off your admission ticket. Click the link in the podcast description and join us at Equip October 15th through the 18th.
For anybody who doesn't know the product, not to make it a pitch like you said either, but for anybody who's newer to the show, or maybe you guys haven't been on the Kujo website in a while, or maybe you had a pair 4 or 5 years ago and, wife got you some other boots for Christmas, but you're like, hey, those things are ready to go. I got to re-upgrade into something. I do want to talk about the product line. I love the portfolio. You guys went from shoes to boots to some slip-ons. Now you got, I can't even keep up, to be honest with you. So that's why we got the man of the hour on here to explain everything. But what was the first product, second product? What's the best selling products? What do you guys have access to now for anybody that's listening in and haven't gave the Kujos a run?
Yeah, I'm not happy to run through it real quick.
Yeah.
The first shoe is called the Yard Shoe. And like I kind of mentioned earlier, the goal is to create kind of the ultimate hybrid lawn care landscaping shoe for working outside. It's, it's like a mid-height lace up, keeps your feet, dry in the morning dew, but it's breathable for the afternoon with a great grip. So it functions great. So the Yard Shoe is actually, that was our first product, and it's still our best seller to this day. We have multiple colors. We have a partnership with Skag, so we got their colorway in one. So that's still the awesome first product. And then the next thing we launched, we had a lot of, and you'll hear the theme here. Almost every single product launch was because guys are like, hey, we need this. Hey, we need this. So we had a lot of people saying, hey, I love your Kujo shoes, but my company requires safety toe, or I like to wear safety toe. So then our next product was our X1 landscape boot, which is composite safety toe, all the same functionality, just, a little more ankle support, and it's got the safety toe. So that's a great product for us too. And then the next, so we've done about a product a year has been kind of our strategy, launch something new.
Okay.
And then the year after that was, hey, I love the Yard shoes, but I'm so sick of lacing up. I don't want laces. And I'm sure you're seeing that trend. More and more people don't want to lace up. So that's when we launched our Jags with, it's like the Yard shoe, but it just flips on. That's been a huge hit too. That's just a great product. I know you like that product.
That's my favorite, no doubt about it. I'll be a walking testimony to the end of time. While you guys are here, I'm wearing those, bro. I went to Chicago and back. That's all I wore. I mean, I literally.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, that is my go-to. We're here at the house at the property. Until you guys came out with one of the new products we'll get into in a second, we were wearing our Kujos around, and then not only that, it got really muddy in the winter. So I bought a couple pair of muck boots for Liz and I don't need those anymore with the new product that you guys have coming out now, which is super cool. But now that we're back to not as crazy mud, but still muddy, still construction site, literally all I wear outside is my Kujos. And,
Awesome.
Great product. And by the way, two things I got to weigh in on. Number one, no laces. Yes, that's awesome. That's cool. Perfect. But it's the elastic band around your ankle that keeps the grass out of your shoe. Like I don't know if this relates to everybody, but my personality type, I'm a melancholy. If I have a pebble in my shoe, I'm stopping, taking my shoe off, and I'm banging out my shoe to get the grass or the rock out of my shoe. My wife, she will walk 5 miles. She's a killer. She does not care about a rock in her shoe. My personality, I'm like, it's like North Korea, treatment of like water treatment. What do they call that? Waterboarding. Like I got to get it out. So like when I'm cutting grass, and freaking grass is getting into my shoe, even with maybe the Kujo Yardwears or the original shoe back in the day, I'm, flicking out and fingering out all the grass out of my socks and my shoes. And I'm like, better than boots. But, again, I don't complain. I'm in the bonus round. Well, then Shawn came out with these and I said, no way. I wasn't really a slip-on shoe kind of guy. I'm like, I feel like somebody's grandpa, like loafers or something, but not the case at all, folks. That was horrible thinking. But now that I'm wearing the Kujos, they what do you call it? The elastic band's tight to your ankle, quote unquote, for the most part. And so number one, no grass clippings in your shoes. But then number two, we do a lot of landscaping with mulch, and we're constantly shifting mulch around in our dump insert. Somebody's always jumping in there like a monkey, Shawn, and pushing it into the corners of the dump insert.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then mulch is more aggressive, obviously, than grass clippings, and it's always sticking with you. But I'm happy to report, guys, I haven't had any grass in my shoes in 2+ years, no mulch in my shoes in 2+ years. And again, like, it is a big deal. It's a comfort thing. It's a convenience thing. It feels good to walk in a shoe that was designed for what you do. And again, there's a lot of folks out there making great product and great boots and great whatevers and hiking boots. And, everybody's got their different, work shoe, if you will. But I'm telling you, nobody's making a turf related shoe like Kujo. I'm just telling you guys straight up. So if you haven't bought a pair, give them a shout, give them a try. 100% wholeheartedly have my endorsement. I had to weigh in on those Jags, 100%, or I think they call them the Jacks now, right? Did we changed the name? Yep.
You're right. Yep.
Absolutely love those. Shawn and them had a little name change in the last month or so. So if you guys are Googling Jags, it's now Jacks, Jax for the slip-ons. So that was, last year or 2 years ago?
That was 2 years ago.
Okay. So now fast forward, we've got, well, I don't want to gloss over the pants. Were those before or after or during? I'm trying to remember.
Those were right after the Jack.
Okay, so you know the timeline. You take it away.
Yeah, and we did the pants and the shorts that same year. But I tell you what, the pants have been a huge hit. And
yes.
There's a lot of good work pants out there, right? Like Carhartt, Duluth Trading, But our goal, I said, okay, if we're going to do pants, and this is like all our products, we're going to do it. It's got to serve a function, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the pants, we said, okay, let's do the lightest, most breathable pants possible for guys working in this hot summer heat. And I live in North Carolina, and it's 98 and full humidity in the summer, and guys are out and they're wearing pants, and it's so hot. So that was our goal, and it's still got to be durable and functional, and we nailed it with these pants. We found a great material, and one thing that really worked out great is I designed some breathable mesh behind the calf.
Yeah,
you really get good airflow, and what's really cool is just this past year we got our official patent on that. So we do have a patent on that too, which is
cool.
I'm super hyped, so we can kind of protect that. We're the only ones really with that design, and they work so well. We've had so many guys buy one pair to try them out, and then they come back and buy 4 more pairs, so they have one pair for every day of the week when they're working. So we've been very, very fortunate. We appreciate everyone's support on the pants.
Love it. Pants have been great. 100%. Best pant that I've ever worn. I've worn Dickies. I've worn jeans. I've worn Wrangler jeans. I've worn khaki pants. I've worn Dockers from Kohl's. I've tried everything, and doing this for 17 years. 100%, hands down, my favorite pant. I will not wear anything else when I cut grass, unless it's like an old pair of jeans, but that's rare. Definitely not after June, July in Michigan. Like you said, the heat's just too much. So check those out. Shorts.
Yeah, those are great.
Shorts came out shortly thereafter, or short?
Yeah. The pants were in the spring, shorts were in the summer. It's the same material, so it's a light, comfortable, flexible material, just like the pants, just the short version.
Okay. Yep. Heck yeah, man.
And then after that, we had two more products. So I'll wrap it up real quick. But we We did the X4S boot, which is 100% waterproof. So all of our shoes and boots are at least very, very water resistant. They're designed to keep feet dry in wet grass. They all do.
Okay.
But we did 100% one with actually a waterproof booty on the inside. And that's more of an all season boot. So if you're dealing with late fall, early spring, slushy weather, that X4S boot is great for that sort of stuff. And that's what we launched. And then this last spring, you had kind of alluded to it. We did our Surge rubber boot, which is, this has been a huge hit. So that's going to be similar to like you said, a muck boot or an extra tough boot, that sort of style. But we wanted to do two things different than those. A little bit better grip. So when you're outside, it's not a deck boot. It's not a fishing boot. It's designed for working outside. So a little better grip. And then the comfort. We did a big, thick, soft insole on there because we heard so many guys say, hey, I do fertilizer, I do spraying, I do irrigation work. I'm walking 8-9 miles a day.
Right.
I need a rubber boot that's comfortable. So we really worked hard on the comfort of this, and the initial feedback's been great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I have somebody who has a pair of boots, Muck boots. Love Muck. Good, shout out to Muck. Whatever. Great people. Great brand. I'm sure. But there's no traction on them. I will just say, yes, they look like they do, but it's basically a flat, almost like a Croc rubber bottom. Like there's nothing going on there. And when I'm walking my site, and folks, you get 2 inches of rain here on a construction site on a dirt plot acre, it's a mud pit. Like it's crazy. The number one thing we never anticipated living in the camper was dealing with mud. I never want to see mud again for the rest of my freaking life, Shawn. I'm telling you, holy freaking cow. Very blessed, very thankful, but the amount of mud, I mean, what are you going to do? It's just part of the process. But I'm like, do I just make a plywood highway here from our gravel driveway? I never anticipated the mud, but we're walking around and I'm sloshing through what looks like Jurassic Park over here, because and I got mud, you step in the mud and then it turns into a water puddle, and no shade on the Muck boots, but they just don't hold up. I've been wearing the Surge boots since you sent them out about 6 weeks ago. 100%, much better traction, much better support. Again, not here to... Two things, folks. Number one, Muck, I don't know who owns Muck. Mr. Muck, God bless him. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I know Shawn and Kelsey and Craig. Family-owned, small business. They're supporting what we do with ads or this year, actually, Spring Shop Tour Series, and last year, Spring Shop Tour Series. Super grateful and thankful for that partnership. Folks, the reciprocity is what I guess is... I'm a loyal dude, if you guys know. A lot of you guys know and can tell. I don't know who Mr. Muck is. He's not sponsoring the tour. Shawn's sponsoring the tour. Guess what I'm wearing? Guess what I'm buying? Kujo Yardwear. Okay, so if you guys get anything from the podcast, you get anything from the YouTube channel, we had that shop tour just the other day with Hidden Creek and crazy awesome outfit. Mr. Muck did not underwrite that trip. No offense to Mr. Muck. But you know who did? Shawn and Kelsey and Craig. And I'm so grateful for that. So number one, guys, support a local small business, even if they're an online, quote unquote, based business. For a lot of us, you guys get to know Shawn, Craig, Kelsey. You see them at LAL. You see them at Equip Expo. I think, to me, I'd rather see you guys win and get my buck than to go to, Muck or LL Bean or, Danner or Irish Setter. Okay. No shade on those guys. Great product, great brands, but they're not getting behind what we're doing like Kujo. And oh, by the way, thank God they make an amazing product. So congrats on the growth, man. Congrats on the product line. That's what, 7, 8, 9 different things now? That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's been fun, and it's a good roundabout line right now. There's a lot of different functionality, so it's perfect. Man,
I love it. Well, we'll probably land the plane here, man. We'll end on a high note. What maybe the next 12, 18 months, man, anything or even 6 months, got for crying out loud. I had a buddy, he's like, what's your 1 year plan, 5 year plan, 10 year plan? And he's like, I don't do 5 and 10 year plans. He goes, I'm a 1 year plan kind of guy at this point. He goes, everything moves too fast in this digital age, man. He's like, I'm a 1 year plan guy. I go, man, I can relate with that. Next 12 months, I can tell you where I'm going. 5 years. So I need somebody like Mark Bradley who's a visionary to pull that out of me. But next 6 months, 12 months, anything coming down the pike? Any teases? I know you guys will be at Equip Expo, but I just love catching up with what you guys are doing, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. You're totally right. Things move so fast. You got to be open and flexible for sure. But in the next 6 months, we're always working on something. Right now, the thing I'm working on right now, actually, after we get this call, I'm going to do a little more development. Is I mentioned our pants are doing so great, but they're designed for hot weather. So we're going to do a cold weather pant.
Okay.
And I'm super hyped about that. So we plan on launching it this fall for the cold weather season.
Okay.
A lot of our customers do snow in the winter, and it's going to be super comfortable and durable and light on the outside, just like our current pants, but we're going to have a nice soft flannel warm lining on the inside. The prototypes are fantastic. So that's what I'm working on right now for later this year.
Heck yeah, man. I love that. I love it. And then you guys will be at Equip Expo. I always have a standing invite for you guys at LAL. Sometimes you guys can make it. Sometimes you guys can't. You're a small company. You know, everybody's wearing every hat. You know, there's a lot of moving parts. I know Kelsey was at LAL, I think 2 years ago. I think Craig might have been there.
Yeah.
Last year.
He's been there.
Yeah, he's been there once or twice. But if folks want to learn more and follow you guys and everything that you have going on, where can they find you guys on social, and what's the website, and any sales or promotions, anything you guys got going on, let us know.
Yeah. I mean, the best place is just our website, just kujo.com, kujo.com. And then, you know, we're on Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. And it's just Kujo Yardwear. So yeah, that's the best place to check us out. And, you know, we run promotions throughout the year, so it's always good to kind of follow our social posts, and we'll launch it out there whenever we're running a promotion.
Love it, man. And if they don't have a Father's Day sale, a Memorial Day sale, or a Super Bowl, sale, those Super Bowl sales are the best, bro. Are you the big football fan there? Is that Craig, or who's quarterbacking that? No pun intended.
So if you guys haven't seen it, we do these flash sales during the Super Bowl that correlate with the game, and we do like these crazy, our biggest sales of the year, but it's like limited time, and people go nuts over it. It's a lot of fun to do it on social.
Hell
but
yeah.
It's not me. I have like a Super Bowl party I host, so Craig and Kelsey do it. They love it. They do a really good job with it.
Dude, well, shout out to them, because it was like I don't know. It was like 24-14 second quarter. That adds up to 40% off sale now through the end of the evening or something, for the next 30 minutes. And I'm like, who's making these sales? It's the funniest thing ever. I don't know anybody that does it. I literally, this sounds so funny, but I watch the Super Bowl commercials and I watch Kujo Yardwear Instagram commercials. That's about the level of hype. I'm like, what are Shawn and Kelsey and Craig going to do for these? Because if nobody scores, I'm like, what are they going to do now? Hot shot, what's the sale? And
right.
They're like, flash sale, 70% off. I'm like, can you even make money at that? So it is so funny to watch your guys' Super Bowl commercials. It's become a meme to me like the last couple of years. I literally, I always think Super Bowl for social media and branding. I go, Kujo Yardwear, that's what they're going to do. They're going to do crazy sales. So
Yep.
It's just funny how things stick with you, man. But any which way, if they don't have a great seasonal sale going on, guys, or a holiday sale like Shawn said, the Brian's 10, it's a pretty universal like lifetime code. If you get in a pinch and your last shoe or your boot, the heel comes separated. We've all been there. You're like, dude, I need some new shoes in 2-3 days. Brian's 10 will save you 10%. Sometimes that code bumps to 15 or 20%. Just check out the flash sales. There's always something going on. Try to help you guys save some money, to help you guys, go out there, cut grass. And the big thing is just to stay safe and to have dry feet. At the end of the day, I sometimes just run to my truck. I'm looking at my truck out my camper window, 30 feet out off the beaten path. It's all Kentucky blue and tall fescue. But if I go out to my truck at 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning with my normal just running shoes, in 30 feet there and back to the truck, they're soaked. I mean the tall Kentucky fescue, the tall fescue grass with the Kentucky blue in there, it's so soaking wet and saturated that guys, like I get back and I get frustrated that I have wet shoes now for the rest of the afternoon. So if you guys have ever dealt with that pain or that frustration, or maybe you guys have irrigated lawns and the folks don't turn off the sprinklers till 6, 7, 8 in the morning sometimes, you get to that lawn and it's all dewy, throw on your surge boots, throw on your jacks, throw on your Kujo Yardwears. You don't have to deal with wet feet or wet socks or bring in an extra pair of socks ever again. And to me, like practically speaking, that's a more comfortable working experience, and to take away all the bottlenecks and the pain points that we have out there in the business. We buy these $50,000 machines and $20,000 lawnmowers, but then you got soaking wet feet, or your team does, and that's just not cool. So eliminate that. Get some great product at Kujo. I think your feet will appreciate it and thank you as well. And you'll have a much more enjoyable experience as you get out there and get the work done. So, Shawn, man, thank you so much for the time. Any parting thoughts or final thoughts? But if not, man, we'll button this one up.
No, it's just always great catching up with you, Brian. I'm glad we got a little time today again.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, always, brother. If I was saying before we hit record early in the show, I said, hey, Shawn, I only get to catch up with you 3-4 times a year. It's usually one or two podcasts, which I love getting the latest and greatest, and then, Equip Expo or LAL, man. So kindred spirits out there, always pulling for you, Craig, Kelsey. You guys got a great thing going on, man, and we wish you guys nothing but the best as well, all right?
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate everything.
You bet, man. All right, guys. Well, hey, all of you guys listening in, appreciate you guys listening in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast episode today. New shows Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So don't forget to hit that plus sign in the top right corner of your podcast, player. Follow along. That way you guys are notified anytime we drop a new show. But big thank you again to Kujo Yardwear, not only for supporting the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast for many, many years now, but also the Brian's Lawn Maintenance YouTube channel. And more recently, guys, check out those shop tours that we're doing this spring. We've got 6 great shops that we're visiting, dropping those every Monday through May in the first couple of weeks of June. Kujo Yardwear is a sponsor of that. We couldn't be more thankful and more grateful for their partnership to help bring you guys that content. So that's what we got for you guys in today's show. Look forward to catching up with all of you guys here on the next one.
Experience success at the Equip Expo in Louisville, Kentucky, October 15th through the 18th. It's the green industry's premier event, covering landscaping, lawn care, and outdoor equipment. Whether you're a new or seasoned pro, there is something for you. Join us for a welcome reception on Tuesday at Churchill Downs. New this year, we have happy hour with the Crashers on Wednesday, a blend of networking and a concert experience. And don't miss Energize, hosted by Brian Fullerton, where you'll get help with marketing, hiring, sales, and purchasing. Thursday night, it's Trace Atkins in concert, and new for 2024, we are introducing our certification center in the West Wing, offering certified courses in pesticide continuing education, turfgrass pesticide application, chemical application, and tree care and shrub. Parking is free. Use code Brian for 50% off your admission ticket. Click the link in the podcast description and join us at Equip October 15th through the 18th. Before you turn off the podcast, there are 2 things that we believe you will be highly interested in. First, if you're looking to stay up to date with the latest trends and insights in the world of lawn care, then you'll want to subscribe to our free email newsletter. It shows up in your inbox 3 times a week and includes a Monday motivational to kick off your week, a Wednesday what's new to keep you informed, and a Friday weekly recap of all the content we put out. The second thing is we have just launched Lawntrepreneur Academy Link. Now you can be a part of an exclusive community that links you to those who can help you grow in your lawn care business. Joining Lawntrepreneur Link will give you the tools that you need to stay accountable, get real-time expert advice, and find belonging in a community of folks who are passionate about the lawn care industry just like you. Visit LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com to learn how Link membership gives you unique access to monthly hangouts, bidding hour calls, coaching calls, expert lessons, and more. Stay ahead of the curve and level up your business with a membership to the Lawntrepreneur Academy Link. Find an easy-to-use link in the podcast description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.